Good morning, children. Today we'll continue our session. So, in previous session, we learned about the revolt of 1957, how the INC, that is Indian National Congress, were formed, and about moderates and extremists. Okay, yes. So, and a law came, that is Rowlatt Act. So, by that, using that law, British can imprison any person without any proper reason, right? By that Rowlatt Act, so many freedom fighters were imprisoned in the jails by this British government. And today we are going to learn about the very sad incidents in our Indian history, that is Jallianwala Bagh incident. So, so many, just now only I said that so many freedom fighters imprisoned by these Britishers. And on 13th April, so this was happened on 13th April 1919, and a peaceful protesters, the people are protesting. Why? Because the assemble to protest means assemble to uh, give slogans against and give speeches against British government, because two nationalist leaders, two important leaders, freedom fighters, were arrested. So, in opposition of that act, the people, the crowd gathered in the place called Jallianwala Bagh. It is a ground, and they are peacefully doing their work. They are protesting against this British government. And Reginald Dyer, who led the British army and came with his army to this ground and started firing without the people. So without the people are having no weapons, without, they are peacefully doing their protest, and the Reginald Dyer came with his army and started firing this on this innocent people. So many people were died in this tragedy incident. And I will show the pictures how they started firing. See, so this is the British army, and they are started firing against this Indian protesters, and they closed all the gates. So they started shooting like this. They closed all the gates, so there is no way to escape for the people, and they started shooting, and so many innocent people were dead. This is the very tragedy incident in the Indian freedom movement. Okay, beta? Yes. After this, what, in 1920, non-cooperation movement was started. So Indian decided, so you are doing like this with us, so we will not cooperate with you, we will not do anything for you. That is called non-cooperation movement. It was started by Gandhiji in 1920, the year 1920. And the people, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, all leaders also joined this non-cooperation movement. Okay, yes. So by this act, so what happened by the act of 1919? After this act, what the British government did, they provided. So in we already learned about this mortgage Chelmsford reforms, right? So they will not give any share in the administration in that act. And now after this Jallianwala Bagh incidents, what happened, they revised again that Montague and Chelmsford reforms and provided a review after 10 years, when in 1929. So, and they sent a commission. What commission? Simon Commission. they came to India to discuss Indians with the about this share. Already Indian want share in administration and civil services, right? So a commission came to India to discuss and uh, about the partnership, the share in the civil services and administration and army. But what Indians did, the Indians boycotted this Simon Commission. We don't want any commission. We don't want to argue. We don't want to talk with any commission. And they demonstrated with black flag. Black flag means we will not talk anything with you. It means that. So they boycotted this Simon Commission. Simon, go back. They told that Simon, go back. We don't want to talk anything with you. You already did so much loss to us. So by killing so many people, that's why we don't want to talk anything with you. So you have to go back. Simon, go back. Simon, go back. So again and telling like that, they boycotted this commission. Okay. And after that, in 1930, what happened? Civil disobedience movement. This is also started by Gandhiji. Disobedience means we will not follow, we will not obey any rules of British government. So we strictly opposed. We will not follow any, we will not obey any taxes, any rules imposed on Indians. So we will definitely will go against all your rules. That is called civil disobedience movement. It was started by again Gandhiji, and Gandhiji started a march that is called Dandi March. So it will go along the sea coast, and the Gandhiji what he did, he broke salt law. Salt law means what? It is a law which is brought by this British government. According to this law, only the British has to make salt and they have to buy. So Indians, they didn't have any right to make salt, produce salt. Only the Britishers have the right to produce salt and we have to buy. So salt is very necessary for us, right? So we have to, we need salt. So then we have to buy from Britishers only. We don't have any right to make this salt. That is called salt law. So doing this Dandi March, what Gandhiji did is, he broke the salt law and he told the Indians to take the salt from that seashore. So where the salt will be made, take the salt. No one give any money to the Britisher. No one buy the salt from Britishers. We will make salt, our own salt. So that is called disobedience. We will not follow any rules of this British government and we will make our own salt. We will not buy. We are not going to buy any more salt from this British government. So that is called breaking the salt law. Okay. And so here Gandhiji did the same, the Dandi March, and the Rajaji, that is Rajgopalachari, did the same at Vedaranyam in Tamil Nadu. Okay. Followed by Gandhiji. And after doing this, what the English people did, they will want to conduct a round table conference. Round table conference means it is a meeting and discuss against all these issues. They will call for a conference, and this conference also, it is also a failure. Why? Because in this conference all the people from British, no one from India. So India also against to this conference. This conference also cancelled. Right? And the second world, at the time, the second world was started. First World War, what happened? We supported Britishers. So in thought of that, after that World War, the Britishers will give a share in administration, and we will afford with a higher level jobs. But after the First World War is over, but the British didn't give any share in administration. And here the Second World War started. And what the Britishers wanted help from us. They want support, our Indian support to in the Second World War. But here the Japan already started fighting, and they occupied the Germany and Italy and also East Indies and Burma, just a neighboring country of India, and they were ready to attack India. The Japan, who the Japan at this in that time, the British people wanted support from Indians to fight with that Japan. But here we put a condition. What condition? First you give independence, then only we will support to you in the Second World War. But the Britishers will not promise it to give independence, right? Here also they played. First you support us, then we will decide. But the Indians, they already learned a lesson from First World War. Okay? They already mistook that after First World War they will get a share in administration, but the British government did not give any share. So here the second before the second be in before giving support in the Second World War, India put a condition that we want independence first. If you give independence, if you give freedom, then only we will support you. But the Britishers will not, they didn't agree to this condition. Okay. And in 1947, Subhash Chandra Bose, he is a strong extremist, and he don't want this non-violence and satyagraha, which was adapted by Gandhiji. So he don't believe in all this. He want to do fight with guns and weapons with the British. Then only the British will go. So he was strongly opposite to this satyagraha, non-violence, opposite to Gandhiji. So what he did, he left the India and went to Singapore, and there he formed a army that is called Indian National Army. So he want to attack the Britishers with weapons and guns. So the Britishers will not listen to us with the peaceful ahimsa satyagraha. So we want to fight against this Britisher. Then only they will go from India. So he has the thought of that, and he founded a Indian National Army, and he want the Japan's support to defeat the Britishers. But what happened? Finally, he was killed in a plane crash in 1945. Before independence only, he was killed. Okay. Then what happened? Then after seeing all this, so Cripps mission. Cripps mission is in 1942 under Sir Stanford Cripps. So it is a mission sent to India under this Stanford Cripps person, and they wanted, now only just they, what the main purpose of this mission is, they wanted support from us in the Second World War. The Second World War. So this is a purpose. The Cripps mission was sent to India, but we already had a proposal that if you give independence, then only we will join with you in the Second World War. But the England was not ready to promise. Okay, and this mission also failed. Okay, and Gandhiji then immediately what? Quit India movement. So British go away, quit India and go away. Gandhiji started the movement Quit India. So the freedom movement is going stronger, much stronger and much stronger. Then after a long fight, independence, the Second World War is ended in 1945. So then the British government come to a conclusion that we will not rule India anymore. They will not listen to us. So that what they decided, they want to give freedom to India. But they already separated India into Hindus and Muslims. So Muslims started, we want separate country for Muslims. So India got independence in 1947, where India separated into two countries. One is Pakistan, another one is India. So Pakistan got independence on 14th August 1947, whereas India just one day delay, 15th August in 1947. India divided into two. So first India was Pakistan was like this. Here Pakistan will be, so India shape will be like this. But after 1947, so India, here Pakistan, India divided into two countries, Pakistan and India. Okay, yes. So when we got independence in 15th August 1957, and after independence the first prime minister was Jawaharlal Nehru. So Jawaharlal Nehru became the first prime minister, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the deputy prime minister. Okay, and in 1950 we adopted a constitution, a book which contained laws, how we have to rule India and how we have to develop India. So the all rules and laws will be in a book. That book is called Constitution. We adopt a constitution on 1950 on 26th January. So in 1950 Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the president, and Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishna has become a vice president. So according to constitution, the country has president, prime minister and council of ministers. So these all and rules and regulations are kept in this constitution. So according to this constitution only, the leaders have to rule the India. So in the constitution mentioned that there should be a president, vice president, prime minister and deputy prime minister and council of ministers. So Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of independent India, and Sarvepalli Radhakrishna was the vice president, and Jawaharlal Nehru was the first prime minister, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the deputy prime minister of the independent India. So this is about our struggles to get independence from that Britishers. So many people were there, so many people sacrificed their life, and we lost so much money, so much our wealth, and at last we got independence in 1947. Okay, so this is about our struggles in independence to get independence from the Britishers. Okay beta, I hope you understood the session, and in the next session we will learn about the few important major leaders who played a crucial roles in getting the independence from these Britishers. Okay, so I hope you understood the session, and we will meet in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Bye bye.